Thank you. Good evening. My name is Mary Matisse, and I'm from Cranston. And I just found out about this meeting yesterday, so I didn't have time to get all the technical information. But I have to, before I begin, refute some of the things that the speaker just spoke. And when he spoke of abortion, about being in the book of Exodus, well, yes, it is discussed earlier in the book of Exodus when the Pharaoh had ordered babies to be killed. And two wonderful midwives, Shiphrah and Puah, actually hid the Jewish women behind the scenes and delivered the babies. And when they were asked by the Pharaoh, why are there so many Jewish people being born? They said, well, the babies are being delivered so fast, we can't stop them. So they knew darn well that that was the killing of babies, abortion. The second thing I'd like to refute is the document in the State House of 1633. It states that anyone that would act any other than Christian conduct, including something with trying to murder a baby, would be kicked out of the colony if they ever considered not serving the God of Providence, which our state was named for, Providence, Rhode Island. And also, with overpopulation, I have to refute that too because I just saw some studies. Actually, our country is down to actually, United States is the only one that has 2.1 babies born per family. The world population right now is down to 1.9, which is, they said, is a very dangerous level. So that actually is not true. So, and also as far as the church versus state, if you really look into your history, years past, actually, the state has had to answer to the church. I really wish you'd look that up, sir. So, back in 1952, my biological mom was raped by a family member, but she didn't decide to abort the baby. She decided to have the baby, which caused, of course, doing this, she suffered quite a bit. Then again, 2 years later, she had a baby outside of wedlock, and that baby was me. And she had to go to a woman's home, and her parents and her made the decision to put me up for adoption. I am so for adoption. Back in 1973, I made the worst mistake of my life, being young and stupid, and not knowing any of the information that's not out there today to end a life in abortion. Shame on me. But my mom decided to keep that baby. And that was me, and I'm so happy she did. So I want to ask you a question. Well, first of all, something I've noticed in some of the testimonies is I think people think life should be perfect, and I actually think that's kind of a ridiculous statement because everyone that I know lives a hard life. They work their tails off over 8 to 12 hours a day. They have maybe a multitude of children and grandchildren. And my husband is one who works and works and works, and as he calls himself, bill payer. Money in, money out of the pocket. And folks, life is hard. And it's never supposed to be easy. So abortion is an easy way out. I don't want the baby, so I think I'll just go to the local Planned Parenthood and end that child's life because I was foolish enough to do something outside of wedlock maybe, or however else it happened. But how selfish can we be? Life is hard, folks, and it'll continue to be hard till the day that we die. So are you happy to be alive? Thank God for your mother who decided to keep you. You have value. In fact, you were once, as this man pulled out before, I have the same one, only a little bit smaller, this big. Now imagine if your mom said, well, I can't take care of you, I'm poor, or my husband left me like my biological mother's man walked away from her. And she didn't get much support, believe me. But this was you at one time, folks. This was me. Inside. In fact, I saw a picture yesterday. It was the most graphic picture I ever saw. And it pictured a 9-month-old, 8-month-old pregnant woman, and you could see her body, and it had a picture of the baby inside the body. It was the most incredible thing I ever saw. So this was you. You are also this big. You would not be here today. because there was an appointed time for you to be born. I can't understand by any means how life can mean so little to someone that one human being can say, yes, I wish that this one or that one should be exterminated. Value. Whatever happened to value of human life? People, you know what really kills me the most is people that have gotten up and saying, I have 5 grandchildren, I have 3 children, and I'm so blessed. Well, that word blessed means, you know what the word blessed means? People that have said that word, happy holiness. If you're blessed that you have grandchildren and children, then by far, how would you be blessed if one of them ended a life? I can't understand because to me it's extermination. You hold life or death in your hand and you vote. Will you vote on the side of life or the side of murder? Just look at each other now. Look at each other. Look at each other's faces. Look at each other's faces. Look at the beauty here. Look at your families. Let's just snap one out. See what it would be like without them. By doing this, a human being with a soul and spirit are placed on a table for dismemberment. And as was described, and I don't have to get into it, all the different types of abortion methods. And there's one also with a needle that stuck poison into them. Don't tell me they don't feel it. That's a lie from the pit of hell. Can you hear that baby's life's breath being sucked out and the silent screams as in those movies? Look at your hands. Everybody, look at your hands. Look at your hands. Every one of you has something that no one else in this whole world has. You know what that is? It's a fingerprint, folks. And in the womb, at a few weeks old, this is already formed by the pressing of the baby's fingers. The lines in the fingers are made a fingerprint, which makes every one of you unique. Unique. A unique individual. So how many fingerprints have we wiped out? And how many babies have we wiped out? You're an individual made by God. I think that's beautiful. There are no 2 people alike. That's a miracle. Now look at your hands after you vote on the bill and decide to dismember babies and see the blood on them. You know what? People say my reproductive organs, that's selfish. You notice this is a culture of I, me, I, me, I, me. What about me? What about the man? What about the husband? What about the family? What about the feelings later on? I was bought with a price. I was bought with a price. Don't you see? This is only the beginning. First, babies. Infanticide. Second, the elderly. Then assisted suicide. Then the disabled and the autistic. Diabetics, heart problems. Hey, let's get rid of them all. None of them are any good. They all have problems. We don't need a world of problems, do we? How can one sit and be in a position to judge whether someone's life is worth living? How can one sentence someone to death that hasn't done anything wrong? What would happen if a mother got shot by someone and she got pregnant, and she was pregnant? You know what? Guess what? By law, she'd be charged with 2 murders, not 1. If that mother died and that baby died, she'd be charged with 2 murders. I guess that proves that life does begin in the womb, doesn't it? You know what? The word extermination means to drive out, to destroy, systematically, to annihilate, like rats and vermin. Just like abortion is kept secret, so is the baby in the womb is kept secret. Each stage of development being formed step by step until it became you folks. Rethink this. This is outrageous. This is outrageous. Thank you.